Hello, so I'm going to do this video on work areas. So I have this house project I'm working on, and if you can see, I'll go back to the documents here. So I have this is the field survey. So as usual, all the anchors are all over the place. So it has not been fabricated yet, so I have to adjust my drawings for fabrication, which is a bit of a pain, but what are you going to do? So we can see here we have the top levels. These should all be 11 and a half, minus 11 and a half, and they're minus 0 and 5/8. Some of them, they're all kind of at least similar. So just to go through the project, so I was working on it there in 2D. So I kind of moved these first two, and I've deleted the joint boxes because I got to move these plates the other direction also. So just using your work areas makes it smarter. So I have this, you can see this work area here. So I'm just working down below. So what I'll do is I'll move this down. What we can do then is we'll just come across this way. So you kind of can only do half the box at a time, so you have to kind of move it slowly. So there we are there. So let's say I just want to do this end. Takes you a second to get it set up, but once you get it set up, you know, we can really restrict what we're looking at. So we just have these, so I can also restrict this even more, and I can just come down to these last couple of columns. All right, so I want to do these three. So I've already moved this one down. It's like minus 1.5, so minus 1 foot 0.5. So let's go back to the drawing. Minus 1 foot 0.5, and we can see if we zoom in that the next one, so here it's okay, so the plate is in the right location, it's just too low. So here we have to go a ½ inch east. The surveyor is quite good on this job, this guy here, JW Line and Grade. 1 inch and 5/8 to the top and a ½ inch east. So I've already moved this down. So let's see. It is now 1 foot 0 and 5/8 to there, so that's correct. Now the only problem is I need to move this east. So I'm going to move this east a ½ inch. Right, let's go back and check the drawing again, just to double check. We have to take our time and do this right. So a ½ inch east. Now you could make these holes on site with a torch, but it's better not to have to do that. So we're going to move it ½ inch east. So I'm going to move this assembly, which is what they have already set on site, ½ inch. I'm going to move the grout a ½ inch, and I have this connection already broken, so I'm going to move this a ½ inch. But what I will do first is I'm just going to put a reference circle here on the corner, just so I know where it's moved from. So what I'll do is I'll just put in the circle, and I'll make it blue. All right, so now I'll do again what I just did. So I'll highlight this, and I'll pick the grout, and I'll pick the plate. Now as I said, I've already exploded the joint, so I'm going to move that over here. So as you can see, the bolts are getting close. It's getting a little tight. So these are going to have some issues with some of these. This one is probably going to be okay, but it's not going to be easy to get a bolt on there. So now the problem is the next one is even worse, I think. So if we go to the next one, it's moving 7/8 east. So it's going to be minus 0, minus 1.5. So same dimension. So it's coming down. If I put in an elevation symbol here, just so we can double check. Okay, we can see that's -1.5. Now I've put in this area as, or sorry, this pile is just a solid, so I'm going to come down 9/8, and then I'm going to extended modeling, and I'm going to take that away from that. Okay, and then I'm going to select the anchor cage, and I'm going to select the plate, and I'm going to move them down 9/8 also. And you can see that the column is not connected, right? Because I've exploded that joint, so move that down also. So now you can see the column is in the right place. Now, just so you didn't mess anything up, we just need to go and make sure that the column is still connected to the plate. Now, as you can see, we have an issue here because these bolts, I have them in wrong. So they're shop bolts, they should be side bolts, so I'll have to switch them, alright? So we won't worry about that for now. We didn't number yet, so we have to fix that. So we know we need to fix that. So now the problem we're going to have is we're going to move this circle. So this is a kind of a work area video, but I got a little sidetracked there, I guess. So I'm just going to copy this over, and then we'll move along and show you how the work area works for me. So let's just select these, and we're going to move this over. Let's just check again. Move it east 7/8. Move east 7/8, and this one is not going to look too pretty. Alright. Oh, that's right on it. So you're not even going to get nothing that, so that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to have to call them over that. But basically, as you can see here, what we can do is then we can just keep working our way along, and we're coming to the end of the building there. So we'll come to the end of the building. Once we have these ones done, I'll go here and I'll select this and make this one green also. And then I'm going to come along here, and then come here, and then we can work our way around the back of the building, and it just, it just makes it a lot easier to see everything, and it's less graphics for your computer to work with. So just try and work smart and use these work areas. I like to work with one work area really, and then have maybe some smaller ones inside, but I know some people like to have a lot of work areas. I probably have a couple here. Let me see. Yeah, I just have connections. So, you can throw in work areas wherever you want, but I generally really use one and just move it around like this, just to kind of enclose whatever I want, and, up and down, same thing. So there is a work area, but I don't really see the point in using that, to be honest. So this just seems like it works better, where I don't even know where the work area is. Here it is. You can create a work area, but I don't see any benefit to that really. Now you can see, what is second point, low. So the one thing about the work area is it will show you the rest of the model in low, with low graphics, but I still prefer the work area, I think. Or sorry, I prefer creating a model view for a work area rather than this. So medium, so you can see different levels. Medium with plates, high. So it is useful. I don't really use it, so I just generally like to use the model views for my work area. So I'm going to go back, get out of that, and that's just how I prefer to do it, but you guys can do it whatever way you want. So that's kind of how I will do my survey. I'll work my way around the building and do one at a time, and it kind of gets less confusing. So I hope that helps anyone that has to do the same thing. All right, take care.